Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with my very first layout using my June Kit with Style. And so this is a collaboration that was started by Scraps, and she has put together a bunch of YouTubers who have made some homemade kits where we are trying to go ahead and do some stash bashing throughout the summer. And so I did put a link down below if you want to check out my June kit. There's also a playlist for all of my Kit with Style videos, so you can also click over on that. And so this is the first layout that I'm creating with what I put together for June. And so I have taken this cut file and I have backed it with some black cardstock, and then I'm using that Good Vibes paper, and that's the one that has the black and white kind of vines and flowers on one side and then the pink dots on the other side. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab my 6x6 paper pads, and you see that these are already well loved. So I've been kind of playing with these 6x6 paper pads. That's why they made it into this Kit with Style stash video, because they are things that I have played with before. And so one of them is the Everyday paper pad, and then one of them is an Amy Tangerine, one of her older collections. And so I'm going through and just pulling out pattern papers that I know I might want to use. And so I'm going to pull out way more than I end up actually using, but I'm just pulling out colors that kind of go together. So I'm looking for like a bright fuchsia and a light pink and kind of a minty green color, and I'm just seeing what I have that will work. And then I'm going to go ahead and start backing my cut file. So I'm going to put some adhesive around the sections and then cut my little scraps of paper to fit each little section. So I'm not really doing the whole trace and cut thing. I'm just kind of cutting and making it work as I go. And so I went ahead off screen and filled in all of the spaces that I wanted to have filled in, and I've left a bunch of them blank. And so what I'm going to do is take my white gel pen and I'm going to trace around the sections that I have left blank. And that's because I want to fill these particular sections with sequins. And so I am looking at where my photo is going to be placed, and I left the ones empty that were like behind my photo because I don't want to add the depth behind the photo and add that extra lift when you're not going to be able to see those areas anyway. So then what I'm going to do is go ahead and just apply adhesive to each one of those sections and then painstakingly sit and put sequins into the entire thing. And so I did not make you watch that entire process, but I have filled 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those little spaces with sequins. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my photo and put it on some fun foam and add it in the space where I want that to go. And I am going to put it on a little bit of an angle because I am going to have a little bit of an angle throughout this entire layout. So I've went ahead and adhered that entire thing to my black cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and also adhere it to this pink background. And I'm going to put this at a little bit of an angle as well, just to kind of create some interest and some lines so that not everything is just face on. Okay, and so then I'm going to start working on the embellishing part. And so I know I want my title to be Mosaic Fun, and the reason I kind of went with a background like this was because my daughter in the picture, we were at the art museum doing some art in the park, and they were making these like stained glass mosaic pieces of artwork, and you can see that in the picture when it's a little bit closer up. And so I'm going to add this Calberteschi alphabet, and this was also from my kit. And I'm just going to spell out the words Mosaic Art, and I'm kind of going to overlap it over the top corner of that photo. And I have put a little bit of a piece of doily behind that corner just to kind of help that embellishment cluster that's going to be over there, as well as the title, kind of have a little place to live. And so that's going to be in that top corner. And then I'm also going to have an embellishment cluster over on the right side of the photo. And so I'm just going through and I'm going to pull out a bunch of the embellishments and things that I have in my kit. So I'm not going back to my stash unless I have to have something, like I needed that doily. But for the most part, I'm really trying to work within my kit because it's quick and it's easy and it's things that I know that I wanted to get out of my stash and onto pages. So I'm really kind of making an effort not to run back to my stash and spend hours looking for things. So I have this all put into that IKEA organizer that you saw in the initial video. And so I have that sitting right by my desk, and that's what I'm pulling from. So I'm not going back and forth looking for other things. So I went ahead and found 2 of those circle puffy stickers, and that was one of those sheets that I just picked up at Target. And one of them says do your thing, and one of them says you are beautiful. And so now I'm flipping through some of the ephemera that I've pulled out for this particular stash kit. And I know in this kit there's a little flower, so I'm looking, or no, not a little flower, a little heart. A heart, Khristina, a heart. There it is. So I'm looking for that because I want to add it to my embellishment cluster with that little pink heart. And then I also have that little black and white vine over on the right-hand side. And I tried really hard to get these Amy Tangerine bows into this layout. I only have just a couple left, so I am determined they're going to get used during this month, but they don't make it onto this layout. Then I went ahead and grabbed these puffy stickers from Momenta, and these have a bunch of different little puffy stickers, and so they have a lot of the really small size that I am needing. So I'm going to go ahead and add those into my embellishment clusters as well. And I did want to tell you, for all of the sequin work in the background, just putting the adhesive on the paper and then sticking the individual sequins onto that seemed to be the thing that kind of worked the best for me. It created a uniform look, and everything I feel like is secured down really well. The 3 sequin packs that I used for this particular project you can find down in the comments below, but they are also Rose Wine Explosion, Jaded Hearts, and Wild and Free. And I just pulled out the individual colors because I did each section a single color. And so I kind of pulled the individual colors that I needed from each one of those kits. And then I'm going to go back to the mixes and grab a few more sequins to add into my clusters, just sitting on top of my layout. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Zot's Bling adhesive for those, which is a really great adhesive that makes those sequins stay really firmly. And I haven't had any issues with them coming off since I started using it. And so I'm pulling a dark pink, a light pink, and one of the turquoise colors. And so those are all from that Wild and Free sequin mix. And that's basically going to finish this layout up. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my first layout with my June Killikit, as well as seeing how I am using sequins to fill in a cut file. Do make sure you stop by and check out SpiegelMom Scraps. There is a discount code that you can use at the end for any of the amazing sequin mixes that you want to pick up, as well as those oversized doilies that are super fun. And I will see you guys again soon. Bye!